Welcome to Starkup's Session 5 on Q&A. And our first question will, as always, will be on OSHA. And we have a question number 1 from RR out of Oklahoma. And he states, I work in a classified area. The AHJ came into our plant and said that all of our motors, which numbered approximately 300, had to be changed out because they were totally enclosed fan-cooled type, but they wasn't necessarily identified or listed for Class 1 Division 2 locations. Now, we have a sister plant that our engineers have installed the same type of motors. And I just can't understand why our engineering staff in 2 different facilities came up with the same interpretation and installed these motors. Could you help me out with sections that might clear this up for me? Well, RR from Oklahoma, I'll certainly try. NEC 501.125 was revised in the 2017 edition and rewritten. And that sentence in that paragraph that basically said that these motors could be installed in these locations without being identified as such was interpreted to say and mean exactly that. Now, because OSHA, the NEC, and other codes and standards wanted these motors to be identified or listed as Class 1 Division 2 type motors of the totally enclosed fan-cooled type to be installed in these locations. So review now 501.125, and depending on which code they were installed by, they may be considered legal by a lot of your authorities having jurisdictions, many of those folks. Now, OSHA in 1910.307C3 note would give you some information pertaining to this qualification of these motors. And 70B review chapter 27, and it would be section 27.2.10. Now, for safety-related work practice pertaining to these motors, review 70E Article 235. Now, these sections, review them very carefully, and again, depending on when the motors were installed, get with the authority having jurisdiction, go over these sections with the authority having jurisdiction, and see if these motors would be permissible based upon the time that they were installed. Now, again, if we should review OSHA 1910.302 through 1910.303 and review the tables, the March 15th, 1972 table, as well as your April 16th, 1981 table, and the table that's kind of being used today as the August 13th, 2007 table. When you review all these sections, you can see why that engineers, contractors, and electricians considered these motors to be okay if they were installed, before the 2017 edition, and 501.125 was revised and rewritten, and that particular sentence was deleted.